This microchip with wings is the smallest flying structure humans have ever built. You can see how tiny it is. Perhaps more than ever now, engineers and scientists have been taking inspiration from nature when developing new technologies. It's also true for the smallest flying structure humans have ever built up to now. Inspired by the way trees, like maples, disperse their seeds using little more than stiff breeze. If you've ever seen the seeds, they have a wing on them, which is really transparent and very light. Inspired by these trees, researchers developed a range of tiny flying microchips, the smallest one hardly bigger than a grain of sand. This flying microchip is called Microflyer, and it catches wind and spins like a helicopter towards the ground. The microflyers, designed by a team at Northwestern University in Illinois, can be packed with ultra-miniature technology, including sensors, power sources, antennas for wireless communication, and even embedded memory for data storage. Northwestern's John Rogers, who led the development of this new device, says our goal was to add winged flight to small-scale electronic systems with an idea that these capabilities would allow us to distribute highly functional, miniaturized electronic devices to sense the environment for contamination monitoring, population surveillance, or disease tracking. Now, the team of engineers wanted to design devices that would stay in the air for as long as possible, allowing them to maximize the collection of relevant data. Please support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. The team of engineers who designed the devices that would stay in the air for as long as possible, allowing them to maximize collection of information. When the microflyer falls through the air, its wings interact with the air to create a slow, stable, rotational motion. Roger says, we think that we beat nature, at least in the narrow sense, that we have been able to build structures that fall with more stable trajectories at a slower terminal velocities than equivalent seeds that you would see from plants or trees. He says, we also were able to build these helicopter flying structures at sizes much smaller than those found in nature. Rogers believes these devices could potentially be dropped from the sky en masse and dispersed to monitor environmental remediation efforts after an oil spill or to track levels of air pollution at different altitudes. The irony of potentially creating a new environmental pollutant while trying to mitigate the effects of another is not lost on Roger and his team. In the paper describing the work, the authors relay these concerns. They said, efficient methods for recovery and disposal must carefully be considered. One solution, by bypassing these issues, exploits devices constructed from materials that naturally resorb into the environment via a chemical reaction and or a physical disintegration to benign end products. Rogers' lab fortunately develops transient electronics that are capable of dissolving in water after they are no longer useful. Using similar materials, he and his team aim to build flyers that could degrade and disappear in groundwater over time. Roger says we fabricate such physically transient electronic systems using degradable polymers, compostable conductors, and dissolvable integrated circuit chips that naturally vanish into environmentally benign end products when exposed to water. We recognize that recovery of large collections of microflyers might be difficult. To address this concern, these environmentally resorbable versions dissolve naturally and harmlessly, he says. This was published in Nature magazine, and it's on Science Alert by Connor Feely. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support.